by the Kenya Revenue Authority to suspend tax relief in totality. The decision has become a subject of debate in the Senate, with members of the House rising to seek clarity on the matter. Nominated Senator Crystal Asige says the move will greatly affect people living with disability, who are the ones that benefit greatly from tax exemption.
Number 6, notices of motion.
The Upper House on Tuesday, during its sitting and debate on the adoption of the report on finance on the 2023 midterm debt management strategy, the debate on the suspension of tax relief took center stage.
Very serious issue. It goes beyond even this statement that some individuals within KRA must face full force of the law, because this issue of tax relief was a noble idea, but it was misused along the way, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, looking even at our budget, Mr. Speaker, you have heard from the budget policy statement and even the chair of budget in the National Assembly indicate that we might end up borrowing 860 billion to finance our budget, which is deficit, Mr. Speaker. It is because this issue of tax relief, tax exemptions, tax evasion are being misused and abused by individuals who don't want to pay taxes, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, it forces our budget to go on tax deficit, Mr. Speaker. If everybody can pay tax, Mr. Speaker, in this country, as the President William...
If he has spent some time in business school, he would know there's a difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion. Tax evasion is a criminal offense. Tax avoidance is the reason why accountants go to school. Mr. Speaker, before Senator Kalwale imputes improper motives on commercial private interests operating,
let the Senator make his point.
Operating in a free market economy, Mr. Speaker, Senator Kalwale needs to be careful so that if he's going to call for investigations, it should be for tax evasion and not tax avoidance.
However, people living with disability find themselves in the crossfire between government and multi-millionaire corporations, with senators seeking clarity to protect PWDs.
Find out the number of PWDs employed in Kenya, stating the number of tax exemptions certificates from KRA awarded to these employees. State the criteria used in deciding the class of taxpayers affected, clarifying the objective and the goal of the exercise. State whether the relevant stakeholders were engaged, tabling evidence of the same. And finally, Mr. Speaker, state immediate targeted interventions, if any, available for persons with disabilities affected by the ambiguity of this directive. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Been abusing these tax exemptions, people who are not people with disability. But Mr. Speaker, I want to urge that KRA does not punish those people with disability because we have rogue people who are actually do not have any disabilities.
The tax suspension was effected to help in raising revenue and closing the gap of tax evasion. Brian Amoy, Look Up TV.
Thank you, Moy, for that story. Now, students from pastoral communities affected by drought have benefited from 45 million shillings bursary allocation by CDF in Samburu with the help of Samburu Member of Parliament, West Naisula Lesuda. Gladys Masharia with more.
Samburu West MP Naisula Lesuda has launched a 45 million shilling bursary to assist college and secondary students affected by the biting drought in the North Rift. The students have not been attending school as they have been depending on livestock to pay fees, as many livestock have died and parents left with nothing to cater for their children's school fees.
Jamani, tukipata hii pesa kidogo, sukumeni tufunge shule bila kufuza watoto shule.
The leader wanted teachers not to chase students from school as drought has affected the region and parents are vulnerable, adding that the bursary that has been provided will hold the students in school as they plan on what to do next. 10,424 students have benefited from the bursary allocation in Samburu West's constituency.
For the last 3 seasons, tumekuwa na failed seasons 3 times. Hatuna mifugo, hatuna mahindi ama chakula, ambao sisi tumekuwa tukitegemea mambo ya shamba na mifugo yetu kusomesha watoto wetu kama sisi hapa watu wa Samburu West.
The Losuk Ward MCA, Felix Kaunda, said that for the last 3 seasons there have been no rains and the drought has affected the parents, and as the area MCA was worried about what to do to the students who are at home due to lack of school fees.
Saisi hata hatuna mifugo ya kusema tunauza. Gharama ya maisha ndio hiyo imekuwa juu. Lakini leo tumepata mzoada ya CDF. sisi tunafurahia mheshimiwa wetu Crystal Asige.
One of the parents, Nuria Lenemiria, said that her children were home and she did not have food nor school fees to give as they were depending on the school to give food to her children. She was so thankful for the CDF bursary allocation as students will go back to school and will be fed. Gladys Masharia, Look Up TV.